Okay, on the subject of tariffs, first of all, I want to say thank you to the countless American customers and TechDeck owners over the last couple of dozen years that have ordered your workstations and various accessories, bridge slotting jigs, neck surgery jigs, the radius disc sanders, etc., etc. But I do need to level with you now because with the advent of these tariffs that are now in place, the last couple of TechDecks we shipped out, one to Nashville and one to North Carolina, there was $350 tariff on both of those. Now, both customers just kind of ate it. I have to take a second to explain that all those years ago, when I came up with the initial workstations, they were really designed for my students for the Conestoga College Guitar Repair and Design program that I had created and taught for 23 years. It really got me thinking. I was 42 years old when I first introduced this workstation at the Guild of American Luthiers convention in Tacoma, Washington. I'm now 70 years old and happy to be here and happy to be in good health. And now that I'm approaching retirement, I thought I would take a minute and just give you a history on the TechDeck workstation and my own sort of evolution and development over the course of my business career. I've been here in Stratford for 36 years, but my career started long before then. When we displayed that very first workstation at the Tacoma, Washington show, months before the show, Jay from StringTech had indicated that, he would be very interested in this workstation and they'd be willing to put it on the front page of their catalog. And both him and Todd Taggart, who was running Luthiers Mercantile at the time, word for word had said they would be very interested to put this on the front page of their catalog, and they were both my new best friends until they found out that I had it registered with the U.S. Patent Office. And at that show, Stuart McDonald had a thing they were displaying called the, if I remember correctly, I think it was the benchtop guitar cradle. And when I pulled the blanket off the StringTech workstation, they hid their benchtop guitar cradle under the table. And when Todd Taggart came over to sort of introduce himself and had basically gave me the same line, front page of the catalog. But the funny thing was, when Todd came over, Jay just kind of wandered over and stood at his shoulder. Didn't say anything. He just wanted to make sure he didn't miss anything that was being said. And honestly, that type of cloak and dagger stuff just turned me off completely. You got to remember, I was 42 years old at the time, very excited about the potential of this thing, and it was essentially just a leather-padded, multi-adjustable workstation to make your job safer, easier, and quicker. That was it, end of story. No huge expectations on my part, and I was more than happy to just carry on selling the workstations to my students, and I still get calls from former students. But since that time, of course, Todd Taggart has moved over to another company. Luthiers Mercantile is no longer with us, and it's been a vacuum of silence from StringTech. And that's okay, I'm fine with that. I just continued on teaching my classes, doing small runs of 24 or 30 units, and then orders started to trickle in from around the world. I had no marketing plan. I still don't really have any big marketing plan. I'm happy just to be here in my shop working, and using this workstation is where I make my money, not selling it. So when these tariffs kicked in, I thought, you know something, I really don't need to do this. We are just ramping up for another run of 40 workstations, and I do have a couple of people that are interested in kind of taking over the whole workstation production and shipping for me. So that's a good thing. But I did have to mention these tariffs because you can't ignore it. Ironically, right now, with these current US tariffs, someone from Australia could land a TechDeck cheaper than someone who's an hour's drive away in Buffalo. I have had more than one person just drive up, pick up their workstation, or drop off repairs and come and pick them up. And I'm fine with that, but as far as shipping goes, dealing with customs and tariffs, and now of course both ways, Canada and the US, I'm just not interested. I've got more than enough work to keep me going. I'm more than happy to just stroll out the back door and down the garden path and set up in my shop each morning with a coffee and get into it. A lot of the earlier videos, you'll see the 5th generation of the StringTech workstation. These were the workstations that I was using starting in 2006 when the local music store was bought out by a national music store chain. So when Long & McQuaid bought out the local store, initially, Trevor, the manager at the time, was a former student of mine, music student, and sort of guitar repair student as well. So I would drive down with my Buick Roadmaster station wagon and load up 8 or 15 guitars, drive them home, and drop them off the next day. This continued for about 18 months. And during that time, Trevor, who is now the store manager, had decided to take me out to lunch, and he wanted to thank me for my work. And it was during lunch that this conversation came up. And Trevor went on to tell me that the regional manager had been in the previous week and sat down with Trevor in the back office, and he's going over all the stats, right? So he's the bean counter. He's looking at everything from trumpet sales to the student population to rental department, etc., etc. So Trevor's telling me this over lunch. When the regional manager got to the stats on the repairs, he turns to Trevor and asks him, "What's with the guitar repairs?" And Trevor kind of looks at him and goes, "Well, I don't know. What do you mean?" He said, "Well, how many repair guys you got?" This is the best compliment in the entire history of TechDeck. So Trevor holds up his finger. 1. So the bean counter looks at him and goes, "Do you realize that this guy is single-handedly doing more than our 3 Toronto stores combined?" I'm hearing this over lunch and I'm thinking, oh my God, it wasn't my intention to offend anybody. But honestly, that was the greatest endorsement and the ultimate testament ever for the TechDeck workstation. And I'm very grateful that you leveled with me, Trev, and told me that. I was kind of stunned at the time. And all these years later, we're still shipping this thing around the world. It was shortly after this meeting with Trevor that I got muscled out of the picture with Long & McQuaid. And honestly, I'm fine with that. I was in pretty good shape. I had an email list of about 1,100 customers that I'd done work for during that period. And you got to remember, I was still doing work, as I am now, with customers shipping stuff and showing up directly at my door. So the business message here for you guys that aspire to do guitar repairs or are currently doing guitar repairs, I'm not discouraging you from working with a music store. As long as there is trust, mutual respect, and encouragement, it can be the best thing possible for the store, for your customers, and for your own shop. It's a win-win-win situation. I hope that this little talk has inspired and encouraged you all to continue to elevate the art, doing what you love to do, and in many cases in the comfort of your own home. With the advent of these 6th and 7th generation TechDecks, the XLT and the GPS units that fold up into a case, a lot of people are just literally working out of their apartments, like me, out of their home workshops, and taking them on tour with them. The portability and storage capacity has been a huge game changer. No need for CNC machines. You don't need to bolt the TechDeck to your workbench or bolt a huge steel pole to a cement floor. No need for vices, no need for clamps to hold your guitar. Out of curiosity, I've recently done an AI search just to see what the average monthly overhead costs for a guitar repair shop. So currently, the average overhead is between $2,000 and $8,000 a month. Let's say it averages out to $4,500 a month overhead to run a guitar repair shop. And if that's the case, the price of 1 month's overhead, that $4,500, would cover the shipping and the cost of a TechDeck GPS workstation, a bridge slotting jig, a neck surgery jig, a radius sander conversion kit for your drill press, a neck removal jig, and a 16-pack of compensated nut blanks. And the crazy thing is, most TechDeck owners are working from their home workshop, just like I am. In the middle of a blizzard, and we're just getting back into winter now, my commute to work is a walk down the garden path, coffee in hand, to my workshop door. And by the way, that monthly $4,500 cost would also cover the cost of all the chisels, reamers, and all of those small hand tools that you see me using in the 900 videos I've created thus far. In closing, I need to mention these tariffs again. For anyone in the States that's willing to pay an extra $350 US on top of the price and shipping, we're happy to ship them to you. We're not like a huge corporation. This is just a small family business that extrapolated from me teaching these courses at the college for 23 years, and we continue to do small quantities of workstations. Anyone interested in this upcoming run of TechDecks, you can contact Greg at stringtech.net and we'll get these out to you. I'm still getting a lot of inquiries from the US, and for the last 25 years I've had people shipping guitars up from Austin, Texas, and Minnesota and Florida and New York. Now it's pretty well people that want to commute. But I did want to mention that I do have some recommendations for people that want to get the compensated nuts done without shipping the guitar to me in Canada. Colorado Springs, Gary Craw has been doing the compensated nut thing for years. He's very good. And as far as neck surgery goes, well, Jeff Rice in Atlanta, Georgia at In Town Guitar Repair is your man. He's first choice. He's been doing this for, God, it's got to be going on 20 years now. And he's all set up. He's got his TechDecks, so does Gary. The other fellow that's very talented and just opened up a new location in Coatesville, Pennsylvania, is Mike Schramm. Very talented tech. He's got 2 TechDecks. He's got a GPS, an XLT. He's got the radius disc sander and has this beautiful new space that he's recently opened up. And he'll take good care of you. Of course, the other person that comes to mind, I'm not big on sort of watching other people's videos because I'm too busy doing my own videos and busy in my own shop. But from time to time, I have kind of taken a shine to Harpeth Guitar Restoration in Nashville. Scotty is doing amazing work and amazing videos. And he also has a GPS unit, and he's got every gadget out there. An amazing shop. Amazing guy, very talented finisher as well. Anyone within a stone's throw of Nashville, you want to look him up. A couple other people I want to mention, up here in Canada, a 40-minute drive from where I am, is Mark Stutman from Folkways. And Mark is like a walking encyclopedia of all things Gibson. And he has started doing videos these last few years. And I thank you for that, Mark. He's one of the few guys that I do watch from time to time, just because I do so many Gibsons myself. It's always interesting and fascinating to watch Mark's videos, so keep that in mind. 2 other people that I kind of track from time to time. One is a super talented luthier out of Washington, David Keeley. Now, he's not doing videos, he just has pictures and posts on Facebook. He does an amazing cross-sectional of everything from dulcimers to violins to acoustic guitars that he's building, mandolins that he's building, and of course repairs and restoration. Anybody out that way, you are very privileged to have David in your backyard. And the last person I want to mention is not a tech. When I was recovering from my heart surgery, his blog was like a lifeline for me when I could barely get out of bed. Just looking at the amazing workmanship and detail on his beautiful carved top guitars. Maybe if I live long enough and if I'm lucky enough, I might even fly out there and study with him for a month if he'd have me. Well, I'm going to sign off for now. I know I've kind of rambled on. So best to everyone in the coming year, and thank you for your ongoing support. And of course all my Patreon subscribers, YouTube subscribers, customers and students, thank you so much. You're much appreciated. Take care.